Hi there, and welcome back to the Cozy Cartridge. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. We make videos for you to unwind, rest your eyes, and drift into dreams. Tonight, we're taking a quiet walk through the magical world of Animal Crossing. We'll be exploring the secret stories and hidden lore of some of the game's most mysterious villagers. These aren't just quirky neighbors, they're full of surprises with origins and personalities that go deeper than you might expect. So snuggle in, breathe easy, and let's listen to the whispered tales of your island companions. Anka, the regal cat from ancient Egypt. Anka carries herself like royalty, and she might just be. Styled after an ancient Egyptian queen or deity, Anka wears a cobra headdress, heavy eyeliner, and a haughty expression. She speaks with regal flair and expects nothing less than admiration. Her home, decked out in golden furniture and hieroglyphic wallpaper, feels like a palace preserved in time. Players have long theorized that Anka has lived for centuries. Maybe she's immortal, magically drifting from town to town through time. Her aloof attitude could be the result of her long, storied past. While she may seem dismissive at first, over time she warms slightly, as if she's letting you peek behind the velvet curtain of her ancient world. Her presence on your island feels like a brush with living history. Anka's name is inspired by the Egyptian word Ankh, meaning life, and her entire design echoes the grandeur of ancient Egypt. With her golden headdress, winged eyeliner, and Cleopatra-inspired style, she looks like she just stepped out of a sacred tomb, and maybe, in a way, she did. Anka made her debut in Animal Crossing for the GameCube, though she appeared earlier under the name Cleopatra in the Japanese-only version of the game. She has since reappeared in Wild World, City Folk, New Leaf, Pocket Camp, and New Horizons, each time bringing her timeless charm and royal flair with her. Even her posture, the way she closes her eyes when she's content or turns her head with a huff when displeased, feels intentional, like a queen surveying her kingdom. Anka is a snooty villager, which means she starts off a little cold, a bit blunt, and maybe even full of herself. But beneath that regal attitude is a deep appreciation for refinement, elegance, and, if you're patient, a surprisingly sweet side. Snooty villagers like Anka often speak their minds, and she won't hesitate to tell you if your outfit is tragic. But if you take the time to earn her trust, she begins to open up, sharing stories about fashion, ancient art, and her thoughts on life's bigger questions. She's a reminder that confidence and complexity often go hand in hand. You don't have to be bubbly to be kind or simple to be liked. Anka is dignified, poised, and, once she trusts you, loyal in her own quiet way. Step inside Anka's home in New Horizons and you'll find yourself in a room fit for royalty. Golden statues, hieroglyph-covered wallpaper, and ornate furnishings give the impression of an ancient chamber sealed away for centuries. It's not just luxurious, it feels like sacred ground. In some versions, her home has a sarcophagus. In others, there's a scorpion model perched like a guardian. Her music choice, KK Bazaar, plays softly in the background, like wind echoing through sandstone halls. It's a space that makes you want to speak in whispers, to tread lightly. And yet, if you imagine her lounging there, tail twitching, eyes half-lidded, you might realize it's also a place where stories sleep, waiting to be told. Anka's mysterious aesthetic has made her one of the most talked about villagers in the fandom. Some fans speculate she was once an ancient ruler, cursed to live through the ages in different towns and islands. Others think she might be a goddess in disguise, watching, listening, occasionally judging. Her eternal look and ancient name add fuel to these theories. Even the way she walks feels deliberate, like each step remembers centuries of tradition. She's a figure that players love to imagine more deeply, crafting stories where Anka has seen civilizations rise and fall, always with that same cool smile. In 2021, Anka even became the center of a viral internet trend, thanks to a fan-made animation. While the meme was playful and a little cheeky, it reminded everyone just how iconic she truly is. Fun facts about Anka's birthday is September 22nd, making her a Virgo, known for their elegance, attention to detail, and high standards. How fitting. Her Japanese name is Nile, referencing the famous river that shaped Egyptian civilization. She's one of the only villagers whose design is entirely inspired by a real-world historical culture. Her catchphrase, "Me meow," sounds like a royal decree in disguise. Despite her refined taste, She's occasionally caught talking about weird dreams or snack cravings, little moments that make her feel more human than myth. Anka isn't just a cat in golden eyeliner. She's a symbol of self-assurance. She reminds us that it's okay to carry yourself like royalty, to have standards, and to protect your peace. But she also teaches us about softness hidden behind walls, about the patience it takes to truly know someone, and the reward of earning a proud heart's affection. She's mystery wrapped in gold, a guardian of the past, and yet oddly relatable. Maybe we all have a bit of Anka in us, a side that wants to feel treasured, understood, and remembered. Lucky, the bandaged mummy dog. Lucky is a lazy dog villager who looks like he just walked out of a haunted house. He's endearing in his own eerie way. He loves talking about naps, snacks, and taking it easy. He has an unsettling look, which makes his name seem almost ironic. What kind of luck leads to a look like that? Some fans believe Lucky's appearance hints at something tragic or mystical in his past. Could he be a ghost, or perhaps a dog who once belonged to an ancient pharaoh? Maybe he survived an incident long ago and was reborn into the peaceful world of Animal Crossing. The ambiguity adds to his charm. Lucky is a comforting contradiction. Creepy, yet cozy. Spooky, but sweet. Lucky has been around since the very beginning and has appeared in every new version of the game. What makes him so unforgettable is his appearance. Lucky is completely wrapped in mummy-like bandages with just one glowing eye peeking out. His design immediately stands out in a game known for cheerful and pastel animal friends. But rather than being scary, Lucky feels more like a gentle ghost story, someone who's seen a lot, but still wants to be your best friend. Despite his wrapped-up appearance, Lucky has a lazy personality type. That means he's laid back, silly, and obsessed with snacks, naps, and daydreams. You'll often hear him talk about food, bugs living in his furniture, or his very strange, but very detailed dreams. In New Horizons, Lucky's house matches his spooky but sweet vibe. His home is dimly lit, with eerie wallpaper showing tombstones and a creepy black carpet. There's even a coffin in the corner and Egyptian-style decor, making it feel like a tomb or ancient crypt. Earlier versions of his home weren't quite as spooky, but they always leaned into his theme, which were dark walls, mysterious objects, and a vibe that feels like someone's quietly living in a haunted storybook. But despite all of that, Lucky is never gloomy. His attitude is cheerful, funny, and endlessly huggable. He's the kind of friend who might live in a haunted house, but would invite you in for cookies and a nap. One of the most charming mysteries about Lucky is his name. Why would someone wrapped in bandages who seems to have survived some mysterious accident or curse be called Lucky? That's where the theories come in. Some fans believe Lucky has survived so many accidents that he must be the luckiest dog alive. Others think his name is ironic. He is unlucky, but embraces life with joy anyway. And some players even see Lucky as a subtle nod to Anubis, the Egyptian god of the afterlife, especially given his love for Egyptian furniture and tomb-like decor. Regardless of how you see him, Lucky has become a quiet fan favorite because he represents something rare in video games. He represents a character who looks unusual but offers nothing but warmth, loyalty, and kindness. Fun facts about Lucky. Lucky's birthday is November 4th, making him a Scorpio, fitting for someone mysterious and deeply loyal. His favorite song is KK Dirge, the same as Coco's, adding to his spooky yet serene theme. He's one of the few Animal Crossing villagers who appears to be injured, but his injuries are never explained, leaving it all to the imagination. In Pocket Camp, Lucky's campsite theme is spooky, and his preferred furniture is a mix of creepy and cozy. His Japanese name is Rucky, a play on how L and R are interchangeable in Japanese pronunciation, and a subtle nod to the ironic humor of his name. Lucky reminds us that appearances can be deceiving, and that even those who look a little different have the biggest hearts. He's wrapped in mystery, but underneath is a soul who just wants to snack, sleep, and enjoy life's peaceful moments. He teaches us that resilience isn't always loud or flashy. Sometimes it looks like a sleepy pup, still smiling after 100 storms. Lucky's story is one of quiet hope, playful resilience, and the kind of gentle strength that stays with you long after the game is off. Marshall, the popular smug squirrel. Marshall is one of the most sought-after villagers in the Animal Crossing world. With his swooping side bangs, soft fur, and smug demeanor, he's confident without being rude, stylish without trying too hard. He loves music, fashion, and good conversation, often acting like he just stepped out of a magazine spread. People go to great lengths to invite him to their towns, and over time, he's become something of a celebrity in the fandom. Having Marshall feels like winning a tiny lottery. He's proof that even grounded characters can become iconic through the love of the community. Marshall made his first appearance in Animal Crossing, New Leaf, and it didn't take long for him to become one of the most talked about villagers in the game's history. With his cream-colored fur, stylish swoop of hair, and ever so slight frown, Marshall quickly stood out among the crowd of squirrels. At first glance, he might seem aloof or even snobby, but spend a little time with him and you'll discover a deep, thoughtful character beneath that moody expression. He's got a soft heart, a love for the arts, and just enough sass to make every conversation sparkle. It's this combination of vulnerability and flair that made fans fall head over heels. Marshall returned in Animal Crossing, Pocket Camp, and again in New Horizons, solidifying his superstar status. These days, he's one of the most sought-after villagers in the game, often fetching high prices in trades and sparking joy with every move in. Marshall is a smug villager, which means he's confident, charming, and sometimes just a little bit dramatic. Smug villagers tend to be flirty in a friendly way, mixing gentlemanly politeness with an unexpected dash of showbiz flair. And Marshall embodies that blend perfectly. He'll compliment your fashion, talk about his dreams of stardom, or wax poetic about the way light hits the leaves. But he's also prone to quiet, heartfelt moments, talking about books, music, or his favorite coffee blend. He's the kind of character who can make you laugh with a dramatic sigh, then surprise you with a vulnerable thought that lingers long after the screen fades to black. In New Horizons, Marshall's home is like a modern indie cafe tucked inside a cozy city street. Clean lines, wood tones, and a record player spinning soft tunes create a space that feels like a breath of fresh air. It's stylish, but not cold. Curated, but still lived in, just like Marshall himself. There's a simple harmony to his space, where music, comfort, and quiet company are all welcome. The atmosphere invites you to imagine sipping espresso while listening to Marshall share stories about his latest journal entries or songwriting attempts. It's a surprisingly down-to-earth environment for a character who sometimes acts like a celebrity, which makes it feel all the more real, like a glimpse behind the curtain of someone who's as thoughtful as he is theatrical. Marshall's rise to fame has sparked lots of discussion. Why him? What made him so beloved? Some believe his appeal lies in the duality of his character. He's adorable but edgy, sweet but stylish. He fits into almost any island aesthetic, from cottagecore to city chic. But deeper still, he represents a kind of emotional intelligence rarely seen in games. He talks about feelings, admits his insecurities, and still struts with confidence. Fans often compare him to the tsundere trope in anime, characters who seem cold on the outside but are deeply caring underneath. Others see him as the quintessential cozy companion, a friend who gets your sarcasm, supports your creativity, and reminds you it's okay to feel things deeply. There's no official backstory to Marshall, but players have imagined him as everything from a traveling musician to a tiny fashion mogul. His ambiguity lets you create your own narrative, and maybe that's part of the magic. Fun facts about Marshall's birthday is September 29th, making him a Libra, known for charm, balance, and a love of aesthetics. Sounds about right. His favorite song is KK Bossa, a gentle, jazzy tune that fits his relaxed but stylish energy. He's one of the few smug villagers who has maintained huge popularity across all major games. Despite his snooty appearance, he's actually shorter than many of the other squirrels, making his attitude even more endearing. Marshall isn't just a stylish squirrel. He's a tiny lesson in self-acceptance. He shows us that it's okay to feel a lot, to enjoy beauty, to lean into softness and still be strong. He reminds us that charm isn't about being perfect, it's about being real. He's the friend who brings you a latte and tells you to follow your dreams, the roommate who makes you laugh during tough days, the quiet poet hiding behind a pair of very fashionable eyebrows. In a game built around warmth, comfort, and connection, Marshall stands out not just for how he looks, but for how he makes you feel. Thank you so much for joining me tonight as we quietly wandered through the untold stories of Animal Crossing's most curious characters. These little mysteries add depth and magic to an already enchanting world, and I hope they've sparked a bit of wonder as you rest. If you're still awake, I'd greatly appreciate if you subscribed. I'm new here, and your support means everything. Please feel free to share any thoughts or feedback in the comments. I'm always listening. Until next time, sleep well, and may your dreams be filled with cozy campfires, shooting stars, and animal friends.